This episode of Roddy Radio is brought to you by Yesi, Puerto Vallarta Mexican restaurant and bar. They have tacos, tienen carnes asadas, pollo a la crema, enchiladas, burritos. They also have seafood such as camarones a la diabla. That's the kind of stuff that can really re-energize even the weakest part of your body, if you know what I mean. And of course, they do have a full-service bar. Go ahead and check them out. Happy hour is from 4 to 6 p.m. at that bar, serving up some of the best drinks here in Southeast Idaho. They are located at 2668 East Sunnyside Road in Ammon. That's in the same plaza as Brolim's. Go check them out. Go have a meal. Go have a drink. Tell these guys that Roddy Radio sent you. Just so they know that the advertising is working. They continue to support the show. We really appreciate them supporting the show. But let's go ahead and get started. This is Roddy Radio. I used to say what number we were on, but I don't do that anymore. No sé por qué. I just stopped after like episode 19. And that's exactly why I wanted to do a solo episode, though, was because I realized it's been a year. It's been a year of Roddy Radio. Roddy Radio episode number 1 came out on October 12th of 2023. Today's October 16th of this year, 24, whatever the fuck year it is. But congratulations. Cheers to that. Drinking a Monaco straight up Alta Red style, you know. Salud, banda. Pero sí, hace un año we were still asking, we were still doing Alta Red and Roddy Radio, but you know, Alta Red lost a lot of momentum, and so se me hace que fue, I mean, the funnest times reminiscing was like last year, you know, season 2 when we were still at Latino Taxes. It was just so easy to do video podcasts where we were able to just show up and record. Once we got kicked out of there, we were over at the barbershop. I would have to set up every time and break down, and that gets tiring. So the audio was the way to go, and that's why this continues to go on. Aquí estoy ready to answer questions on the live feed, dice Maria. I don't know what questions you're going to answer, but but of course, you know, thank you, and you know, congratulations. You're saying congratulations to you because you've been a big part of it since Alta Red, and you know, and along the way, I mean, at the very beginning, it was just me and a lot of, you know, people that wanted to be on Alta Red that didn't know Spanish or weren't comfortable speaking Spanish. So I brought them on the English podcast, and you know, it was a lot of fun that way. And but you know, you get through the people that you know and the people that you know that have been part of it, and so now it's like you start meeting new people. And of course, Victor and Sean have come in clutch on, you know, a bunch of episodes now. Hopefully they continue to help out, be a part of this, and we're going to continue to, you know, coming up, we're going to be doing more guests and more episodes, just like we do, you know. But you know, for now, like I said, wanted to do this. It's been a year, and you know, and I am helping 1614 Revival Foundation produce their podcast called It Begins With Us. You know, it's about domestic violence and their survivors. You know, we're just starting that out, but I'm helping them out. I'm trying to be as concise and good quality as possible. I've never worried about quality with my stuff because it's all goofy. We all, you know, it's just a bunch of nonsense that we put out hoping to make people laugh. This is a whole different vibe. It's a serious vibe. So we're, you know, definitely trying to make them look as good and sound as good as possible. So we're going to continue to do these podcasts, going to continue to create. You know, I recently set up my TikTok where I'm doing, where I'm obviously posting the same clips as I do on the reels on Instagram and you know, YouTube Shorts. It's all the same shit, but I'm also doing a lot of personal stuff. I just always have like ideas that I wouldn't want to put on the Alta Red one because that was just Alta Red. So this is just my own personal TikTok. I'm going to link it so you guys can follow me. I want to get to 1,000 so we can do lives there. And I have ideas to do different type of lives and stuff, you know. I have no idea how like the live DJing stuff works, but I want to do, you know, I want to do that also on the live platforms, whether it's there or whether it's on YouTube. And I've been working with figuring out how to do that, which hopefully is easier than even something as simple as this. I think the YouTube platform is a lot easier for the live stuff, but I guess we'll see once we jump into that. But you know, we're just going to continue to create and continue to make art because that's what I am. I'm a sensitive artist. I've said it, always said it, you know. And people, work today. This guy asked me about que si todavía soy artista, que si todavía le hago al artista. And that kind of pissed me off the way that's phrased, because you either are or you aren't. You don't pretend to be. You're not just an artist while you're on the stage or on the, recording something or whatever focus it is. If you're an artist, sensitive artist like myself, you're always an artist. And that's what I am. It's always that. Has nothing to do with, being on a stage or whether anyone's listening. All 7 of our listeners are very loyal, and I appreciate every one of you. And so hopefully this does grow, though. I mean, you do want to be creating art and have people acknowledge it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, and I didn't want to answer the guy at work porque lo preguntan de cierto modo that, they're just trying to clown on you. They're not trying to really have a conversation or really pick your mind about your ideas. And especially at work, it's like at work, you're just a monkey, you're just working. You're just, just do the work and go home, get your paycheck, go home. And I understand that and I love it, quite honestly. It's mindless work. I can be doing the work with my body and my mind can be elsewhere. And that's, it's a perfect situation for me, quite honestly. But yeah, we're going to keep doing, we're going to keep creating, we're going to keep at it. Like I said, appreciate Maria a lot. I appreciate, Oscar hasn't been on forever, but he was always a great collaborator. When we got kicked out of Mia's, I mean, it was kind of a bummer, but we've since, been figuring other stuff out. Again, it's great that we base it mostly just on audio. Of course, we did the video podcast with another friend that we have recently met, Maddie Danger. We went out to the cemetery. If you have not seen that, go check it out on YouTube. You can also watch it on Spotify, but YouTube, I think, is definitely the place to watch videos. Also, if you don't know about why we got kicked out of the barbershop, go back and listen to the episodes. I believe the episode is Dave buys a Ouija board, and then the aftermath, of course, is the episodes after that, and you find out a little bit of what happened. It was unfortunate, but it was also very funny. So go check it out if you haven't heard that stuff. And of course, now we have our new sponsor. Hopefully we get more sponsors and we can do more and more videos, more and more content for you. I've never been like, oh, I gotta make content creating, but when you get a sponsor, you do get that feeling of responsibility of having to put something out there and having to make it good. Like I said, a lot of times I don't care too much about sound quality, video quality, or anything like that, because I believe in the content that we put out, whether it's humor, whether it's, us talking about somebody's past and traumas and all that shit. But it's the best someone in my situation can do. Viejo treintón, soltero, you know what I mean? And so it's, that shit's confusing as hell as it is. A year ago I was talking to someone else. Now I was recently talking to someone and she kind of dropped off because of her own trip, and we've had our episodes about dating and shit. And so I don't know, it's just difficult. And Gritty Knows Best. Shout out to Gritty Knows Best. Always a pleasure to panel. What's happening, man? Thomas is online now. On the computer, unfortunately, I'm doing the live with my computer because for some reason the iPhone 6 wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So I don't think you can request to join, but if you want to be on this, because I'm recording this as part of as an episode, if you want to, I don't know, give me a call, or, we could plug that into the interface and that would work as well. If you want to be on, no pressure. But what's the oh no? Maria saying oh no about something. Maria, I'm going to call you so we can talk about it. It's always best to talk so you can ask me stuff, because I lose track of shit. So I'm going to call you right now. What up,
Geez,
dude?
I was not expecting you to call me right now.
What are you doing?
Watching you?
You're at your house or what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Part.
Yeah, so what happened?
Hold on. Pues se da el caso que. So I told you Sunday.
Your charger's annoying.
I know, it's stupid. That's part of why I just went on live on the computer instead of the phone, dude. I just need a new phone, quite honestly.
Oh, okay.
But if I unplug it, it'll just die really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Pero ya es que te dije that Sunday we went, had dinner, walked around the river. And that's when she was telling me like, oh, like, I think you're a really good person. And I was like, well, about that, let me tell you about the felony I have. And like, and you were telling me like, you think that's like self-sabotaging shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and I
I
guess,
mean, it's great for you though that you were like, hey, let me tell you that I'm not that great of a guy. I have all these flaws because most of the time people like try to like give the best of them and lie and pretend to be somebody they're not.
yeah.
So I don't know, but I do a lot of that too. Like when I get told over and over, like, you're amazing, you're great. And then I start to get scared and I'm like, well, I really not. Like, I have this, and that. Can you handle that?
Yeah. That's kind of
That's
what
when,
it
I
is. Like, I don't really think it's too
catching
much
feelings.
not too much self-sabotaging, but I think it's just like, let's save ourselves some time. If you're going to have a problem with this, let me just tell you right off the
Hmm.
bat.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Thomas is saying I am a good guy, and I am a good guy, but I didn't want her like be like, oh yeah, I'm a great guy, and then have her read
Hmm.
about this, find out about this through a third party, and then be like, so when were you gonna tell me about this shit? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I helped a handicap like Thomas is what he's saying.
Hmm.
You know,
Yep.
but I told her that, but we were cool, you know, and we talked that whole week, and we were talking quite a bit more that whole week, and then Thursday, I asked her if she wanted to go do something. She was like, I'm busy tonight, or she's something tonight. She's
Yeah.
like, but tomorrow when I get off work, she got off work like at 11. She's like, I'm going to get off work and let's go to Ford's and just hang out and have a drink and party. You know, I was
Hmm.
like, yeah, all right, hell yeah. And so I'm not much of a bar person anyway, but,
Uh-huh.
I went up to town. I went to a show like, and so I messaged her. I was like, hey, I'm in town. So as soon as you're off, just let me know. And then I
Hmm.
kept messaging her, like, then I was like, okay, I'm at the place. Just let me know when you're here. I don't really want to go in if you're not there. And so
Hmm.
I waited till midnight, like just chilling in my car. Este, and
She didn't show up?
no answer even. Like, I wouldn't care if she didn't show up,
What?
but she did, like, no text. And so and y te digo, she's straight up Mexican. So she's using the WhatsApp. And
Hmm.
so I'm like, okay, well, whatever, what the fuck ever. So I just was like, sent the last message. I'm like, hey, you know, I'm just fucking midnight. I'm going home. So I just went home. Este, then like the next day I wake up and I have a message from her that was like, hey, sorry, como, like, since you didn't message me, since you didn't say anything else, I just went home. And I was like, the hell are you talking about? And so I screenshot and I was like, what do you mean I didn't say anything? Like, I was messaging you. But she didn't reply to that. So I'm like, maybe it's this stupid app. So I sent her a
Hmm.
message through text message, and I sent her a message on Facebook Messenger, and both of them just being
Yeah.
like, hey, like, are you getting my messages? Okay, pedo. And she didn't answer
Hmm.
any of those for like days. So I'm like, whatever.
What
And
the hell?
but then like on Monday, she's like, and she did like the week before, she was talking about how she's been kind of freaking out. Like, she has too many jobs. She was gonna quit a few of them. She's been having like, dice crisis existenciales about shit. Like, she's been kind of
Yeah.
freaking out. And I'm like, yeah, you just need to chill the fuck out. I was like, smoke some fucking
Hmm.
bud and like kick back for a while. And so, este, so then she was like, so then finally she texted me and she's like, and that's what she said. I think it was like a voice memo. You know how people are with their voice memos. And she was like, hey, sorry, I haven't answered your messages, but I'm still around. And actually, you know what? The only reason she even answered was because days later, I was finally like, I'm, I don't want to be the next one to message, but I'm just gonna be straight up. And I was like, did you lose interest or what the fuck? And to
Hmm.
that, she was like, no, I didn't lose interest, but I've just been having issues. Like, I finally quit one of my jobs, I think two of her jobs,
Oh,
and
dang.
and she's like, and so now I'm like trying to, I'm just trying to figure my shit out, but and I was like,
Hmm.
okay,
You
but
like go in and out with the
yeah,
phone. Like,
oh, okay,
I hear you loud and then I don't hear you.
oh, I don't know what that's about, but yeah, she's like, I guess she's just blaming it on her own trips,
Uh-huh.
oh, like, guess she quit two of her three jobs.
Hmm.
So I guess maybe she just needs some time for herself, but she doesn't just straight up say that. She's like,
Right.
so I'm
That's
like,
weird.
So I'm like,
I
okay.
don't know.
So I just haven't really texted her. I'm like,
Yeah.
balls in your court. You know,
Yeah, but do you really want to like continue something with someone that won't communicate that
yeah, that's
doesn't
the
know
thing.
how to communicate? Yeah.
Exactly.
'Cause
También por eso no me agüito. I'm like, whatever. Like
yeah.
I don't need that. You know.
Yeah, cuz it's not hard for her to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, like I'm going through some stuff, like I need some space or, give me a few days or whatever."
Yeah. Yeah. It was
That's
just straight up,
it.
or to just straight up be like, don't text me. I'll text you. I'll call you once
Yeah.
I'm get my shit together and let you know what's up.
Mhm.
So yeah, she and Thomas is saying she's playing games, and
Right.
I hate to say that, but I think she is. And so, like I said, I don't need that. I mean, I don't need a relationship,
Yeah.
period. So definitely not one with fucking games.
Yeah.
So
I guess like I've done similar things, not where like I've actually gone out on a date with people.
hmm
But when like they start messaging me and I'll start messaging back and then they do something or say something that makes me unattracted to them,
hmm
then I will take a long time to answer. Like I'm talking about days.
yeah,
And if I do answer it's just because I don't want to be rude.
hmm
Um, but I just kind of like let them figure out like, hey, I'm not interested.
yeah, and
But I don't want to be rude.
that's kind of what I thought the situation was. That's why I was straight up and being like, "Did you lose interest?" Like
Hmm.
at that point, she had the perfect option to be like, honestly, yeah, like, and so I can be like, okay,
Yeah.
moving on to the next one, to the long line of women, to the long line of women waiting to text me. But I don't know. Pero sabes qué es otra cosa también with me?
Uh-huh.
Like she hit on me, and so that's why I'm sitting
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, she's the one that was interested in you first. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and but the thing is, like I think
That's
that's my
crazy.
problem too. Like I'm not much. I don't really like hunt.
Hmm.
But whenever someone's like, hey, like, me tira la onda, I'm like, all right, I'm invested in that right away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even if I'm not
Yeah.
super attracted to the person, like, if they like
Hmm.
me, I'm all in. I'm like, hell yeah.
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 Yeah, that's something I will never understand. It's like when they're attracted to me first, they look for me first.
Yeah.
They chase, 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 and then I finally give in and start talking to them, and then they ghost me.
And that's playing games, man. That's what Thomas is saying. He says he plays games. The thing is, I think I would play games also if I just wanted to get laid, but I don't want to get laid until after I get my vasectomy, hopefully next month. Then after that, I'm gonna be playing all sorts of games, just trying to fucking get some pussy.
No, I don't even think it's that. I get ghosted whether like I sleep with them or not.
Whether you put out or not, that is weird. Just everybody's
So,
fucking out there being the Parker brothers or Hasbro or some shit, playing games all
but
the
hey,
time.
they always come back.
That
I
is,
always say that they always come back.
you have a lot of returns.
I've never had one not. So,
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
so who's the problem here? I don't think it's me.
Yeah, apparently it's not. Yeah,
So, it's fine.
yeah, and so that's where I'm at, and I'm just like, man, you just made me lose like a whole weekend. Like I could have been home because I went to that show
Hmm.
that Friday night anyway, but that show was over
Yeah.
early, like at 10.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I could have been home by like 11. I could have watched the
You,
movie before I went to sleep.
you should have called me. I'm usually up by then, and I like to go to Forts. That's probably the only place I like any bar that I don't go far.
I thought about that. I thought about calling you and another friend, but I'm like, and that's the thing too, though. And I straight up told her that because she was the night we were like walking around the river. She said something about how like she's not too celosa, and I was like,
Hmm.
well, that's good because most of my friends are girls. Like I had already hit up Oscar. Had already like he wasn't he. I like even before I went to the show, like he just couldn't make it that night.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, he's like my only guy friend. And so that after
Yeah.
that, I'm like, you call Maria. And then I was thinking about calling this other friend of mine who was also a girl. And I'm like, but if I'm like waiting for a potential date,
It's
like, do I want to be hanging out with
right.
like a girl,
Yeah,
And so
I
that's
get
why,
that.
I didn't hit you up.
Yeah.
And I
I'm
didn't.
like,
What's
what
that?
day was that? Friday
It
or
was
Saturday?
Friday night.
I'm like, what did I even do Friday night? I don't remember.
I think you guys were busy anyway. You were at that charity ball.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? That was the plan. We're like, hey, we're gonna hit up Ford's right after
Oh,
this. And then I just was like, I have another thing coming up tomorrow. Do I really want to do that?
oh,
And I got home, but I was up till pretty late. And I was like, nobody's
yeah.
gonna go with me, you know? I'm like, I'm gonna be by myself, so I'll
I
just
I should have gone to your house and kicked it, like had a few drinks or something. Fuck. Instead of the
Yeah,
bar, because that's the thing. That's the reason I didn't want to go to the bar. Like I said, bars aren't really my thing unless I'm already
mhm.
there with people. If I go with somebody,
Yeah. Mhm.
but also it's Ford, so I'm like, I'm gonna walk in. There's gonna be a bunch of people I know. I'm like, so I was like being antisocial at the moment.
There usually is, yeah.
Yeah,
Force
for
is with
the
that.
few times I've gone there, it's like there no falta quien esté and you just kick it with them. And so it's
Yeah.
like, and for her
You just
sake, I
yeah.
wanted like the reason I was out was for her was
Yeah.
like, she say she finally showed up, like she got off work late or something. She finally shows up at like 12:30 and I'm already hammered with some dudes or some chicks or something.
Yeah.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
just gonna say that is super, super like fucked up
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Like to like lead you on to go somewhere and wait for her and then never answer.
Yeah.
That's the
And then to
like
say like, oh, well, you never said anything. I was like, she's getting my messages. Like the little check mark turned blue. And then I did, like
yeah.
I said, text message and messengers. Like it's not possible that every single one of those things is failing.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, well,
Maybe she got cold feet.
whatever. That's all right.
But still, like, I don't know.
It is
But
fucked
like
up,
I
but
said,
like I don't hold it against her. Like whatever. We're all
yeah.
human.
Like I said though, I mean, do you really want to be with somebody that, keep trying with somebody that doesn't know how to communicate?
Red
Cuz
flags.
that's rough.
Yeah, those are the red flags.
Yep.
Like you know what you're in for. If it's starting right now, you know what you're in for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you though. After my vasectomy next month, I'm gonna hit her up. And be like, hey, what's up? Let's fuck the shit out of her.
You said she doesn't have kids, right?
No, she doesn't have kids.
Maybe she won't be interested in.
Yeah, that's another thing. She said she wants to have at least one kid.
There you go. She definitely won't want you then.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want any more kids.
Yeah.
So
There you go, see?
it's just not.
Another
Yeah, it's just
it just
not.
wasn't gonna work out.
It just wasn't gonna
Yep.
work out. But would have been cool to get laid. Pero ni modo. How do you feel about 1 year of doing this audio podcast?
That's crazy, dude. Crazy.
It's going by like
Well, we're
fast.
going on 2 years.
What's that?
We're going on 2 years in February.
Yeah, of like that's when I met you and we were doing the Alta Red.
Yeah.
That is insane. And that one you weren't on too much because we had the studio and like you were like I feel like you never really had a chance to go over there, but whenever we could, we'd go to your spot. So
Yeah, I only went once.
yeah,
To
that was the
yeah.
last night. Like, well, the second
Oh,
to
yeah.
last. That was the night he told us to get out,
Yep.
and he was gonna let us like finish off. Like we wanted to do like 5 more episodes,
Dude,
and we just
is
did
there
one
a
more.
common denominator? Because we did the last show. And then the next day you did the one with your friend and the Ouija board.
Were you on the second to last one there too?
Yes, I was.
Oh shit!
I was.
You're the one getting me kicked out of places.
Damn, because I just want you to be at my place so bad.
No, but I value you so much. I think Mia's a little sore at me about that shit though too. So like,
Is what?
she's a little sore about that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like she's trying to be cool and she still wants to be friends and I still want to be her friend and stuff and she'll still cut my hair and stuff. But like I happened to see a meme that was like it was a picture of like someone wrote on a paper and posted it on the wall like something about like something about how somebody brought a Ouija board and now something. It was like very on point.
Uh-huh.
And so I sent it to her, and I was like, "Did you post a piece of paper like this on the door now?" And so I'm trying to be lighthearted about it, but then she was like, "No, I don't have to because other people actually respect me." And I'm like, "Dude, I respect you."
Oh.
And she's like, "No, you don't." She's like, "If you respected me, you wouldn't have done that shit." And that, but then she's like, "No, but it's cool. It's whatever. It's where it's over and done." I was like, "Oh fuck, all right." But oh well.
Well, that's cool that she talks to you. I mean, I probably wouldn't, but
But the thing, I can't blame her. I can't sit here and act like I'm the victim. Like she's Jesus. I mean, people take that very seriously, the Ouija boards.
yeah.
And I knew they did, but I didn't know it was like that serious.
Dude, speaking of, um, on Thursday, I was at an event and I called my brother. He was still at the store
Mm-hmm.
closing up, cleaning. And he was like, "Oh my God, you're not gonna believe what just happened." He's like, "Are you close by? Because I need you to be here." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "The birria, like it just fell, like the whole pot, like it flew and it almost hit me." Like,
Why? What
what the hell?
happened?
I don't know, dude. Like, the only thing logical, like, if there's no ghost, is if there was water underneath the pot and it, like, slid. But it's a freaking heavy ass pot and it,
Yeah.
like, flew off the table and it fell, like, 5 feet away from the table. And it almost hit him. Like, there was a mess everywhere, dude. Like, all the birria spilled everywhere.
So you think it was
But,
a
like,
ghost?
that's, he thinks.
God damn.
Um, but weirdly enough, the craziest thing is like he was gonna use that for Friday, and then he had to make a new batch because I mean all of it spilled on the floor.
Oh wow.
Dude, we were insanely busy Friday. That if he hadn't have made it, like if he would have just had that birria, like we would have sold out way early in the day.
No.
So at the end of the day, like the ghost did him good. And
So the
tonight,
ghost is part of the team. He probably foresaw
yeah.
what was gonna happen.
Well, remember how I told you about the blender?
Yeah, when it almost chopped your hand
So,
off.
yep. So I was washing dishes tonight at 8 o'clock, and he was right next to me washing potatoes. And right next to him was the blender, and that freaking blender turned on. It didn't have the cup in it, but just like the motor turned on.
Oh wow.
And he's like, "What the fuck? Did you just see that?" I was like, "I didn't see shit." And he's like, "It's on." And I was like, "What the hell, dude? Like, it's crazy. It just turned on." And I'm like, You're playing with me." He's like, "Nope, we gotta leave. It's too late. We gotta leave."
Wow. That is weird.
I gotta like move the cameras so they're facing the blender because where that pot fell, it's right there by the blender. And I'm like, there's activity right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the third time.
Jesus. That's insane, dude. Like, ¿tú qué crees en esas cosas? Why don't you get like a priest to go and bless your business?
I've had somebody bless it. But not a priest. I don't know about getting a priest in there, but
Why?
I have.
Because they'll molest your kids or something?
Ah, what was that?
Because the priest is going to molest your kids?
No,
Or why? Why are you skeptical about having a priest in there?
I don't know. Just because of the whole religion thing, and like, if I don't really believe in going over there, why am I gonna believe in them coming to me
Oh,
and
that's true.
saving me?
Because he's going to be like, I never see you in church.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
I don't want to owe them anything.
I've been meaning to tell you something about something on the show. Did I ever tell you about that crackhead that like started threatening me?
No.
It's this guy from Menan that I used to know.
Uh-huh.
The only reason I knew him, estuvimos en una quinceañera juntos.
Okay.
Like way back in the day. Well, when I was like 15, and he's a little bit older.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he's like a year, 3 years older than me, maybe. But I just knew like he went way crackhead. Like he worked with me at a bodega about a handful of years ago, and he was just a completely different person. He's just always looking like all retarded and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so on his Facebook, whenever you could tell whenever he was going like on a little crack binge, because he would start talking mad shit on his Facebook, que él es Dios, and that he's the archangel, and that he's gonna come and strike vengeance and all this stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day he posted two names, like so and so, and the second name was the same name as my cousin's daughter.
Okay.
He's like, you guys are gonna pay, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, and so I tagged her and was like, is this motherfucker talking about you or what? And she's like, and then she just messaged me. She's like, no, he's talking about someone else, but I've seen his dumbass. Like, he's a fucking crackhead. And so then after that, he told me, he's like, never comment on my page again or else I will smite you or some shit. And then like he did a completely different post with like tagged me on it. It said like, you know, tag Rodrigo Ramirez, like, in 7 days I will come for your soul and you will no longer live. And so I just commented back. I was like, Baker, you fucking crackhead. Like, watch who the fuck you're threatening, fool. Like, you don't know how I'll fucking kill you right now. I'll fucking kick your ass. And then like he just angry. Then he didn't post for like months. I'm talking like 6 months or so. So I don't know if
he was in the loony house.
I was thinking he was in jail. I don't think, because they've called to do like wellness checks on him. And they always say he's okay. So I wouldn't think he's in the loony house, but I would believe that he was in jail maybe that time. And fuck, my phone fell. But then suddenly he comes back on, and right away he starts messaging me. He sends me like a message, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I just ignore him. But then he starts calling me. And he starts calling me just one time after another. And I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. And so finally I finally just messaged him like, what the fuck do you want? And he's like, answer your phone. And I was like, why? Fucking tell me what you need to tell me. What the fuck do you want? I'll go toe to toe. Que pedo? And he's like, no. He's like, you better just watch it. The truth is going to come out. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then the next day he posts again, tags my name, and he says, the truth will come out about how you're a pedophile. And I'm like, that's where I draw the line. Like, you stupid fucking bitch.
What the hell?
And so I just ended up blocking him and like reported his shit. And like, from what I can tell, because I can still see his stuff from another profile, from like the podcast profile. And so I'm like, se me hace que ya no, like, I think they maybe like revoked him or something, because I don't see any new posts, and I think a lot of the old ones are taken down. But I'm like, you stupid bitch, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, these fucking crackheads, I bet you anything, if I see him in person, he's gonna not even look at me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, fucking keyboard warriors. I'm like, come on, fool. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate that shit.
The other one we were worried about.
The other, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of stopped, huh?
The other day she kind of started up again.
Yeah.
He or she. I don't know. I'm like giving away who it is. But, yeah. We noticed that, my cousin and I noticed that, we're like, oh, this person goes again. It hasn't been as bad with like the lives and stuff, but.
Right.
But still, you can tell when they start just posting nonstop and their shit doesn't make sense, and it's like just off the wall shit.
Yes.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah. But, yeah, I noticed. I was like, it's kind of stopped. Like, it's just, normal things, but.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy.
I'm
not usually one to be able to tell when somebody's on drugs, but
it's pretty obvious with these people, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, and you're not, and like, I'm not afraid or anything, but it does like make you like, this motherfucker, like, especially because I have kids, I think is the only worry I have. It's like, un día me va a ver, and like, he wants to start shit, and it's going to be the one day I have my kids with me or something, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, I wish I could bump into him by myself and be like, what's up, fool? ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué pinche pedo traes? And just watch him back down. People like that don't follow through. Or who knows, maybe he is the archangel, and maybe he is going to rain wrath of God on me.
So, funny story, not really funny, but the serious story. when my mom was hospitalized for the second time. She was in there for 3 months, and it was the second time that it had happened.
In the
My
loony bin?
grandma had just, huh?
In the loony bin?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was still here at the one in Idaho Falls. I can't remember what it's called, but she was so bad that they had to transfer her to the Blackfoot South.
Yeah.
So when she was here, I went to go visit her. I had just turned 19, I believe, and they my grandma had just passed away. Okay, and my grandma were super close, like her mother-in-law. So it's not her mom, it's her mother-in-law. She was super close. I was super close to her as well. So I used to live with my grandma, and I didn't get to go see her when she passed away, but my mom did. Well, when my mom went crazy for the second time, um, I went to visit her, and she started saying like, "Say hi to your grandma." And I was like, "Mom, my grandma's dead." She's like, "No, she's not. She's right here. Can't you see her? She's right here." And she would
Wow.
point at the ceiling. And I'm like, "Dude, I believe in ghosts. I believe in all that shit." So I'm like, "What do I do? Like, do I
When
believe her?"
when she pointed up, did you look up?
I did. Yeah, because I was like, is she like, I know she's crazy right now. Like, I know she's not good in the head, but like, what if we think she's acting crazy, but she's really not? Like, she's really seeing these
That's what
things,
I'm
What
saying.
if,
Yeah.
like, yeah, so it scared the shit out of me, to be
Yeah.
honest.
That's what I'm
Until
saying.
she,
Like we can brush off all these crackheads that say they're the
uh
archangel
huh.
of death and shit, but what if they are?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it got me to think, but all of a sudden she started acting crazy and trying to beat me up. And they had to like hold her down and give her medicine and stuff. So then I was like, okay, no,
I was like, okay, she's just
she really
nuts.
wasn't seeing my grandma. But for like a few minutes, dude, like I was like, what if she can see my grandma?
It makes you a little skeptical, yeah. I've known that,
Yeah.
and I remember as a kid when I used to go to church a lot. That's something that, like,
Mhm.
how they're always talking about how that we're waiting for the second coming of Christ. It's been 2,000
Mhm.
years, and I'm and
Yep.
I got to thinking, I'm like, how many like crazy people say that they're Jesus, and we just brush them
Yeah.
off as crazy. And
Mhm.
you think about like back in the old days and like in the Jesus times and before that, like in the Old Testament, there's accounts of people saying God talked to me and God told me this and God told me that, and that I'm doing this because it was ordered by God or His
Dude,
angels.
that's literally my mom. That was exactly how she went crazy.
Yeah,
She started telling my dad that that God talked to her, that she was supposed to sacrifice my two little brothers, and
Jesus,
that we had to like take off to Mexico and go back to Mexico, where like that it was a mistake that we made for coming here when we did. And my dad was literally like calling people to sell the taco truck so he can take us to Mexico.
he believed
But
it.
then what was that?
He believed it then.
Yeah, I was 17, and he's like, yeah, like it's happening. And but he's like, no, you can't murder our kids.
Yeah,
Like that's not okay. Let's go talk to the priest. He'll talk you out of it. That's not okay. And no, she was telling the priest like, no, I gotta sacrifice him. Like that's what God wants me to do. And so he called the ambulance. They took her in, and all of a sudden, like after the ambulance, dude, she was the Virgin Mary. Like
mm,
she didn't even know her name. She didn't know my dad, who he was. She was asking to speak to David from David's Ark. Is that what it is? Noah from
Noah.
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 Yeah, Noah. She was asking for David, which was my ex-husband.
Okay,
But and she thought my dad was Noah from Noah's Ark. And she had no idea she had kids. She was a Virgin Mary.
Jesus. See, that's what I'm
Like,
saying though. Like back in the
yeah.
day, so none of those
Mhm.
or all those people in the Bible were crazy, but they
Mhm.
believed them, or the
Right.
people now that we think are crazy are telling the truth.
Yeah.
One of the two has to be the thing, and
Yeah, dude, I don't it's insane. I don't know. I don't even know what to think, but
yeah.
it's like my mom went through that, and yeah.
And that's just like the
when she said,
sacrificing stuff and everything. That's straight out of the Old Testament. It's like we talked about last time about
mm-hmm,
with the circumcisions. That was because God told Abraham to circumcise his son,
yep,
and it's like that's crazy. Like if I suddenly if I had a son and suddenly woke up and like God told me to cut off a part of your dick, people are gonna think I'm
uh-huh,
crazy. I'm gonna go to the loony bin.
right.
But
Yeah, dude, I don't know. And my mom was like, your grandma's right there. And I'm like, no, she's not. Yes, she is. Talk to her. And she started getting all crazy on me. And I was like, oh shit, like, is this real? And then when she got so crazy that the doctors were like, nope, they they had to grab her. And the oh my gosh, the scariest part about that, they have this board. It looks like a crucifix.
yeah,
Okay, that's where they put them on. It's like a bed. It's like a really skinny bed, and it has like arms, just like a crucifix, and it has belts on it to tie down their hands.
jeez,
It looks like a crucifix where they put them, so that way, like they can get them to calm down.
that's correct. That's fucking nuts.
Right?
You start seeing those symbols and shit. So it's like, what's true
Yeah.
and what's not. What's
Mhm.
pero pues,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's.
Maybe your mom is a reincarnation of Mary,
I don't know, dude.
but you're Mary, you're Maria. So who knows?
Yep. I don't know. Shit's crazy.
It
The
makes you
mental
think.
health.
As atheist as I am, it's like that stuff makes you think. You know what I mean?
Uh huh. Yep.
But I te saludó Lorena on the live. I don't know if she's on still,
Hi, Lorena.
but you know
I'm
where
like,
else?
I don't know who's on because,
Because you had to get off. Yeah.
yeah.
If you have to get off, that's fine. I'm going to wrap up pretty soon. The last thing I really wanted to talk about on this episode was something that like I've been noticing a lot of people not want to talk about it, and I understand, like especially where you're a business owner, if you don't want to talk about this, it's fine. But it's like I'm driving down the street and I see flags with like the picture of Trump on them.
Mhm.
Like there was one in town. They have a picture of fucking Trump like with his security after he got shot at,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I'm like, the Trump supporters are like so anti-gay and shit, but having like a flag with a picture of a dude on your lawn, it's pretty fucking sus. Like if there's anybody that'd go gay for, it's fucking Donald Trump, and it's fucking ridiculous.
So I can't vote for either at the moment. Like, I still have another, like, I think the next, I will be able to vote on the next election
Yeah,
is when I'll qualify to vote. Um, but to me, what's insane to me about this whole thing is that I have never seen like somebody hate somebody like another political party so bad
yeah,
that they have like their cars tagged up or stuff in their yards. Like there's a big huge sign. It's blue and it says Kamala Harris on it.
is an
And I'm
idiot.
like, dang, you must love her. And then right underneath, like, sucks.
Yeah,
or some or is an idiot.
I think it's is it on 17th Street?
Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
17th
Kamala
Street. And
Harris
I was
is an
like,
idiot. I'm like,
yeah.
you spent
And
money
I'm
on
like,
that shit.
yeah, like you literally, and then how many cars? Like I don't even know what the actual like meaning of it, but like I've seen a truck with the biggest sticker I've ever seen,
Yeah,
like the biggest wrap, and it says "Let's go Brandon." And when I started seeing that, like, oh, who's Brandon? Like, I wonder, like, it's somebody from the school, you know?
yeah.
And then somebody, like, I saw that it said something. It's something about what our current president is. It his son or I don't know.
No, it's him. It was what it was they were at, I think it was some sporting event, and people
Uh
started chanting "fuck Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden,"
huh.
and the guy they were interviewing was a guy named Brandon, some
Uh huh.
sports guy. Total que they were like, what's the crowd saying? And he was like, they're saying "let's go Brandon," but they were saying "fuck Joe Biden," so it's a
Uh
way of
huh.
saying "fuck Joe Biden."
Oh my gosh, that's funny. But
It
I'm like,
is.
that's cute. You hate him so bad that you like spend money
That's
on
what I'm saying.
putting like I don't get that. Like if I don't like somebody, that's the last person you're gonna catch me talking about.
You're not
Or
going to spend money
like,
on that shit. They keep talking about how bad the economy is under Joe Biden.
yeah,
Obviously, it's not that
uh-huh,
bad because you can afford all that bullshit on your truck
right.
and all that shit. That's Klan rally shit, man. It's fucking scary as hell.
Yeah. So I even saw, like, I pulled up to a car right next to me, and you know how I don't I don't even know how to explain it, but like it'll have like the car's model in like a little gold plaque or whatever.
Hmm.
And that it looked like it was part of the car, and it said "Let's Go Brandon" on it, and I was like,
You're like, you're getting custom made stuff for your car. Like,
"Yeah,
not
dude."
that stuff is not cheap.
I know. I was like, "Dang, you hate him so bad. You got them all posted up on your shit." Like,
I know.
dang.
And that's exactly what I don't understand. And that's what I was going to say is that I've noticed a lot of people that have platforms a
Mhm.
lot bigger than mine that have famous podcasts, famous
Mhm.
TikTok or Instagram, whatever it is, they have big followings and they don't talk about it. It's a really weird time where you can't give your opinion without being crucified by the other side.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because any other time, even like the worst I saw it before this was like Bush versus Gore when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
And it's like we could argue and people get all heated about it, but it wasn't like I'm gonna stop. I guess back then we didn't have followers and shit like that, but
Mhm.
it wasn't like I'm gonna stop watching a TV show because they said
Mhm.
they like Bush or they said they're voting for Gore or something.
Mhm.
And now it's like people are so scared of saying what they want because if
Yeah.
you have 100,000 followers, 50,000 of those might be Trump supporters. So if you say the truth about how you are against Trump, then they're going to
Mhm.
fall off, or vice versa. If you're going to say the truth that you're going to vote for Trump or that you want to vote for Trump, you're going to lose the other
Mhm.
half. So people just aren't talking about it, and that's a problem too. We have to talk about this shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I stay out of it. I can't even vote, so I feel like I can't even talk about it, but I
Yeah,
do. That's the only thing I have to say is like you hate somebody so bad that you have their name all over your truck, all over your house, like flags flying around
yeah,
with the person you hate. Like, I don't know, and I don't see the other side doing it,
yeah.
you know? It's only one side, and I'm like, that's crazy to me.
It's
I don't
just
know.
insane. It's just
I
insane.
would I wouldn't pay to have my enemies, name be flown around or have on my truck or anything like that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And and I cannot vote either. But I do live in this country and I do live in an area where last time this person was president, it was very uncomfortable to be living
Mhm.
next to Trump supporters that started calling us spics and shit. They get really brave when Trump is in office.
Yeah.
When he's not in office, nobody says shit. They still
Yeah.
hate us, but at least they're not bothering us.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so outspoken about. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but look at the fucking facts. And something I heard on a
Yeah.
different podcast on it was Snow the Product that said it, but it's something that's been rolling around in my mind. But she just articulated it so well. Like when it comes to like black people and like Latinos for Trump, how stupid they are. Again, this is my opinion, not Maria's, not your business. My opinion is just they're the fucking stupidest people ever because okay, you're supporting Trump, you're against immigration being direct descendant or sometimes even immigrants themselves. Let's say that we vote him into office and he gets it done. He deports all the immigrants. Now
Mhm.
they're still going to hate somebody and they don't have the immigrants to hate anymore. They're not going to hate the white Trump supporters. They're going to hate
Yeah.
the Latinos for Trump. They're going to hate the black Trump supporters.
Mhm.
So why the fuck are you on that side?
Yeah.
To me, I cannot fathom Latinos for Trump.
Yeah, I just keep my mouth shut when it comes to that topic.
Yeah. And
Like
that's the
I
thing.
said, I don't.
It's too much fear and I understand that like when you have a business and
Yeah.
stuff. And that's why I'm saying it's just me saying this shit.
Yeah.
But that's part of what you should see. We're a free country. We should be able to be
Mhm.
liberally express ourselves and
Mhm.
our thoughts and that's how you win people over. If you don't talk about it,
Yeah.
everybody's just going to be in su pinche mula que they don't want to change sides. They don't want to even
Yeah.
listen to their side. If you discuss, you might get into a heated argument. They might win me over. I might win them over. But the way
Right.
it stands right now, nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody's afraid.
Yeah.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. That's where we're
Uh-huh.
at in this country right now.
Mhm.
We're fearing fear itself. We don't even know what the
Yeah.
fuck we're fearing. We're just all afraid all the time.
Mhm.
Like I said, I can't
And
vote, but I'm
honest,
pushing it because I don't want to be uncomfortable for another 4 years.
yeah. No, I mean, it's scary. It is a scary time. I know, like, I've even, thought like, whoa, I didn't know that person was racist, and then I got told that doesn't make them racist because of who they're voting for.
Yeah,
And like, it made me think, no, you know what? You're right.
yeah.
It's but it's hard. It's hard to know that the people voting for a certain person, that, like, it does affect us minorities.
It kind of shows you what they think about the minorities.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sucks. There's so many reasons why, to vote for a certain person.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I get to see both sides. I'm like, dude, that's messed up. Like, even Kamala Harris, there's some shit she said that I'm like, dude, there's literal evidence that shit's not true, what she's saying.
yeah.
Like,
She's not
how
a
do you
great
sit?
choice,
No, neither.
but
Um,
that's why it's like we need to work, or the country needs to work
yeah,
towards getting away from the like two party system.
yeah, dude, that's exactly what was. I mean, we were in the same spot with freaking Biden.
Yeah,
Like, it was like, who are we choosing? Like, are we need to vote for the lesser evil,
yeah.
and that's what happened. But here we are, like, he's a piece of shit. Like, nobody, people started realizing, like, he was worse than we thought. You know, um, I mean, still, like, it wasn't Trump, but he just, like,
That's bien pendejillo. O sea, he was way past his prime.
oh, dude,
He
I
probably
don't
could have
even
been a
know
good
why it
president.
was okay. Yeah, I don't even know why it was okay for them to consider him a president. He's
Yeah,
mentally unstable.
yeah.
Like, he's not, his health is not there. Like, he doesn't even know how to function and say, like, sentences,
But the
full
thing is,
sentences.
he did at the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
when January 6th happened,
Hmm.
he came on and gave like, I mean, I'm so anti politician that it pains me to admit that it was a really moving speech that he said right after that.
Yeah.
But compare that to, the stuff he's been saying lately, todo ido de la mente,
Right.
todo perdido, todo pendejo. It's like, god
Yeah.
damn, that's not the same fool anymore.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I remember deleting a couple people on my
Yeah.
social medias, not because they voted for Trump, but because the way they would talk about, um like, Biden, and call him like a retard, and I'm like, and if, they were saying that about Trump or whatever, like, I'm just like, how can you talk so bad about a person so loud? Like, you have kids. What if somebody said that about your kid?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good way to put it,
And
yeah.
yeah, like,
Or about your
you,
grandpa. Someone comes up and talks
yeah.
and tells you your grandpa's a retard.
Yeah, but, like, the way they would go on and on about, like, how stupid he was and all these things, but, like, but you don't see the other side too, the other things, like, that Trump says, that he, all these things that aren't true, like, the immigrants are eating cats and dogs,
Yeah,
your
fuck.
pets or whatever.
And they're aborting babies after they're born already.
Dude, I'm like, both sides, dude,
Yeah.
both sides are stupid.
I saw a
And
meme
I
that
just,
said that said when Trump said they're killing
yeah,
babies,
I
it made
almost,
me
you know what?
I almost spit out my
I
dog.
almost I almost feel glad. I feel glad that I'm not allowed to vote yet, because I feel like whoever gets voted in, I won't be guilty for it.
Yeah. Yeah, which is why I've never voted. I feel like maybe if I could, like even when I could vote, I never voted. And this time I
Uh-huh.
feel like maybe I would because it is. But the thing is, I mean, that's why we need to get away from like bipartisan politics because
Hmm.
our vote out here in Idaho doesn't even count. They're not even, we're
Hmm.
not, the polls aren't even closed and they're already announcing who the president is out here out west.
Yeah, so you know how I went to my hike this weekend. Um Honestly, like every corner you'd hit, even up in the mountains, there was there was red flags everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, you don't realize like in Idaho Falls it's not that bad
Yeah. Yeah.
compared to up there.
Compared
Like
to,
it's a red country over there.
mm-hmm. And that's, y lo malo es que people, like, if you're watching, like, I've seen TikToks and stuff about, and YouTube videos about how terribly racist Idaho is. It's like Idaho's a pretty vast state. The whole racist
Mhm.
stuff is up north. Like,
Mhm. Yep.
here, and I've also talked about that, like, white supremacy and racism can be two different things. I think
Mhm.
most white people here are supremacists. Are they blatantly racist towards us? No, they're friendly to us. They can become our friends and stuff. But deep down
Mhm.
inside, they know that they're better than us because they're white. That's white supremacy.
Yeah.
So even
So
if
I
they're
actually
nice to us, the
mhm.
day I want to marry their daughter, that's when the racism comes out. It's
Yeah.
that type of shit.
I when we pulled up to the hot spring, you know, I get mistaken that people don't always know that I'm Mexican
Yeah.
until I start talking. And my friend was with me and she was right in front of me and the first she's like, "It's right here." And she starts talking to these people and then I look up and I was like, "Oh shit." Like I hope we're okay to be here
Yeah.
cuz both of them were wearing Trump hats.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, "Oh shit, we're literally out here in the woods."
Que me van a matar aquí a la chingada.
I fuck, dude. It went through my mind because I was like, I have my freaking swimsuit in my backpack and a water bottle. They got freaking backpacks. They're been hiking. They got all this hiking gear
They
and
got
shit. And I'm like,
gear.
yeah. And I'm like, ugh. I'm like, yeah. You just, I don't know. And then just going up there, you know, like I said, there's red freaking signs everywhere.
Yeah.
And I just no, but they were super nice. And you can hear in the video they were telling us like, yeah, so if you go up here, like past the bridge and you can go under the waterfall here, they were super nice.
Yeah.
And you know, and like I just remember, you know, having that conversation with somebody that earlier that had said, you know, like just because they're a Trump supporter doesn't make them racist. Um, and I know if you know, I have some friends that are Trump supporters that I've realized through time, like, yeah, there's other reasons why they vote for Trump. For
Yeah.
Trump, it's not because, you know, but it sucks. It sucks that that's what he stands for,
Yeah.
and that's
It's
why
just hard to
most
understand that you
Hispanics.
wouldn't be a racist and you would still be able to
Hmm.
support someone
Yeah.
who is. And I
Yes.
guess it's possible, is what they're telling me. But I mean, I
Uh
don't
huh.
see how it can be possible. But, you know,
Hmm.
Lorena says, not a Democrat, but I still respect you and your opinion. It's great to hear both
Yeah.
sides. I'm not a Democrat either. I want to make that clear. I am an anarchist. I don't believe in any of the politics that happen in this country. But what's right is fucking right. And what's wrong
Yeah.
is fucking wrong.
Exactly.
She
Right.
also says, es que también the thought process of whites being better is ingrained in the popular religion in our region. Exactly, which she means Mormons. She doesn't want to say Mormons, but that's what she means.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Hmm.
it is. Mormons
Hmm.
believe that white people are the better people. And the
Hmm.
thing is, unfortunately, Raza also believes that shit. Y se dejan. So it's time for us to stop believing that y ya no dejarnos de esas pendejadas and
You know,
stand our
it's
fucking
true.
ground against people.
It's true. It's true. What do we say when you know when we're trying to meet people? Like I hear it all the time. Like que a mejorar la raza.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
It's
you say
bullshit.
that like when you meet somebody that's light skinned
Mm-hmm.
and that you're supposed to be attracted to them because it's to better your race.
Mm-hmm.
Like we Mexicans say that. You know, I mean, I've been told that. Like oh yeah, I'm attracted to you because para mejorar la raza. And I'm like, that's bullshit. I don't know. I've always dated darker than me, so most people I've dated, they've always been darker. I don't know, but
Yeah, es que
I don't have a preference
es
of
lo
your
malo.
skin color.
La raza así es, oh, ya, a veces unas viejas bien feas y ya porque están blancas, oh, está bien bonita. It's like, no, she's not.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah,
And you
yep.
know, and it's the racism that we have as raza also, de que no queremos
Yeah,
nuestra sangre indígena. And of course that was
yeah.
beaten into us by the conquistadores también. But it's
Right,
like we got to get over that shit and realize that the people are people.
right.
I
I
start
know me and my brother. We've talked about this. Like we've been bullied by our own race
yeah.
than we have by white people.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah, we've been bullied by our own race. Like, se creen mejor que nosotros porque están blancos, and like,
Mhm.
no, no, we don't. We I can't control that my skin color is white, that it's light.
Y es lo
I'm
malo.
sorry.
It's such a double-edged sword cuz like really dark Mexicanos are like super touchy and they just automatically assume that lighter skinned people think they're better.
Yeah.
And it's not always the case. Even I, that I'm not light skinned. I don't think I'm light skinned, but I've gotten that from like darker Mexicans. Like, oh, well,
Yeah.
tú te crees muy
No, dude,
caíta porque estás güerito. And I'm like, ¿güerito de dónde, güey? Like, you see my
dude,
nuts.
my ex-husband is dark, very dark.
Mm-hmm.
And the second my daughter came out, the first one, she was dark skinned like him. The first thing that came out of his mouth was, "Why isn't she light skinned like you?"
Mm,
And that hurt me so bad because I'm
yeah.
like, why does it matter? Like, I didn't pay attention to what your skin color was. He's like, well, yo que quería mejorar la raza, like,
I hate that. I got the exact same thing with my first born. And
really?
then, and it's because, because you look at my mom, you look at some of my brothers,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
so she just assumed that no, she's dark. But the thing is, I think that, and I'm not a biologist, but I think the stronger gene is the darker skin gene. So you're always going to get
It
the
is.
darker kids. Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, but I mean, I was hurt and I'm like, dude, she looks like you. Why would you not be grateful? Like, why wouldn't you be happy that she looks like you?
yeah,
No, why I wanted her to look like you. That's why I got with you.
yeah,
And if you look at him and his whole family, like every single one of his siblings, all married, light skinned,
yeah.
because they're all like se enfrentan de ser um, morenos, and that's sad. That's sad that you think less of yourself because you're darker skinned.
Just because of how you were born, something you can't
Yeah,
control.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I think our raza is beautiful, and I think if
yeah,
you look at my track record of women, I definitely have a type. You know,
yeah.
so they don't look
I
very.
don't I don't have a type.
They have a lot less. They have like all the few girls I've like been serious with. They have a lot less Euro blood than I do. I think, and it's
Uh-huh.
and even like I have my racist theories and shit. I think we all do, but like some are more offensive than others. Mine is my only like racist theory is about teeth. Because if
Mhm.
you look at
The
like
teeth.
teeth, if you look at like my
Really?
ex-wife and like other people that are like more raza, like tienen más sangre indígena, like
Uh-huh.
a lot less, or even just the people that have no European blood in them, they're just straight
Uh-huh.
up, raza de aquí de las Americas,
Yeah.
the true Americans. Their
Mhm.
teeth are always straight
Really?
because all of us that have some Euro blood, we have
Uh-huh.
these big European teeth and these tiny
Uh-huh.
little Indian skulls, and so they get
Uh-huh.
all jacked up. That's why our teeth are jacked up. That's my theory.
Ah.
Nos salen los
Okay, okay.
dientotes de europeos, pero en las calaveras de indígenas.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why our teeth start piling up on top of each other. But you look at someone that has like
Ah.
really pure like indigenous blood, and their teeth are always
Uh-huh.
straight because they're the right size for their skull. And that's
Uh-huh.
my racist rant.
Dang, you're smart over here teaching us,
Well,
you know.
I'm no biologist. I've never worked with peas. I'm not Mendel, but
But hey, now that we're on that subject, how about my chocolate man that I've been looking for? Have you found him yet?
no. But let's put out the APB and we'll start wrapping up the show. But
Yes.
with that, if there is, I'll post. We'll fucking repost it on the podcast page also, so you guys can go see him. Maria was at an establishment here. It was the ice cream
If
place.
anybody knows him, if
¿Dónde
he's
era? ¿Era en la
single,
Michoacana?
let me know.
She saw tall, dark, a tall drink of chocolate milk at the Michoacana, I believe. That's where you were, right?
Yep.
Had a little boy about 4 years old. She believes he's a single dad and very attracted to him. So, vamos a mejorar la raza, sí, casarnos con puros negros chingones.
Hey, he looked at me, he smiled, he was like in awe, I could tell.
I looked at
And
him, he
then,
looked at me, and I looked at
yes,
him. Yeah.
yes, we connected for 2 seconds, and then we both realized we both had our kids, so we had to part ways.
Oh. So, yes, APB, hit us up. Maria's on the show. She's a famous person. She's famous for her business. She's famous for the show. So, she's not hard to find, but we're looking for you, tall, gorgeous man.
Yes, tall, gorgeous. Oh, man.
Shit. And so we did have a little bit of participation. Thank you to Lorena who was commenting and stuff.
Mhm.
I guess I mean we won't even do the life lessons just because we are live and stuff. But I appreciate you calling in and kind of livening this up. The last thing I just want to say is anybody that thinks differently than I do, like completely opposite, come on the show, especially if we're already friends. Like, I promise that I won't lose a friendship. It won't be on me if we lose a friendship. If you lose a friendship, I can't control what the fuck you think. But come on the show and let's talk about this shit because everybody's so scared to talk about this shit. And we need to be talking about it. It's so close to the fucking election, less than a month. So come on. I'm gonna, I have friends in mind I mean, I should just hit them up and be like, hey, come on the show, let's talk about it. Because you're wrong.
But you got to be an open-minded person too. Like you can't just because I want to say this person that told me, not all Trump supporters are racist, definitely does not like Trump.
Yeah.
And so for him to say that to me and then like I had to go back and think of, these people that I know
Yeah.
are Trump supporters and I'm like, you know what? They are good people. They do love me and I mean it does shock me when I find out, new ones, but like they are racist. There's a reason, they have a certain reason why they're voting for him,
Yeah. And there's
But yeah.
I think I'm not as reminded to say that all Trump supporters are racist, but so far, and that's why I want someone to come on and maybe prove me wrong. There's to me there are two types of Trump supporters: the racist ones
Mhm.
and the dumb ones, the ones that don't know any better.
Yeah.
Like they're just following blindly, and they think that racism doesn't matter, but it does matter. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll end on that. Of course, shout out to the tall. He was tall, right?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well,
All chocolate, handsome, curly hair.
hasta a mí se me antoja, güey.
I was there to get some chocolate ice cream and
Oh, wow.
But yeah. He had on a red shirt.